Mike Bacalon in 03. Will Ashton in 35. Champion Dink Colarusso in the 0, and we're green. Battle for 5th position on lap 3, the 0 of Dink Colarusso, the recently crowned 2010 track champion of the Napa Street Stocks. He moves to the inside of the 03 of Mike Bacalon, steals 5th away. There's contact in the battle for 3rd. Sean Phillips into the rear bumper of the 83 of Matt Sever. They're door-to-door at the scoring line. They're door-to-door in turn 1. And on lap 4, the 2008 track champion Sean Phillips grabs 3rd position. Smoke pouring out of the 35 of Bill Ashton, and the veteran from Hopwood, Pennsylvania will retire from this event. Now a challenge for 4th. Dink Colarusso in the 0 moves to the inside of the 83 of Matt Sever. Colarusso, the 2009 and 10 champion. Sever, a rookie in 2010, but still a 3-time feature winner in car 83. The teenager battling the veteran for 4th position in turns 3 and 4. Side by side, 2nd place battle. There's heavy contact. Kostelnik and Phillips both sideways. They're into each other on the front straight. Phillips goes around in front of the field. Sever will stop. Hard contact, the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik. And last night's fastest qualifier is taken out of 2nd position in car 00 with a vicious crash here on the front stretch. Unbelievable impact as the 57 of feature winner Andrew Kostelnik got into the 31 and the 83 of Matt Sever. Rescue crews are on the scene. The 00 of Adam Kostelnik, last night's fastest qualifier, locked in a door-to-door battle with Sean Phillips in car 31. And significant impact as Phillips goes around in front of the field. The 83 of Matt Sever. Matt Sever is climbing out of the race car after that significant impact. The teenager is okay as he will walk away from that machine. The 2008 track champion, Sean Phillips in car 31, also experienced a heavy impact there. 7 laps of 40 are complete, red flag conditions. Seven laps of 40 completed. Tony Manganello, Dink Colarusso, and Teddy Gibala bring us back up to full speed. And with Kostelnik back in the pits as the green flag waves, both former winners of the Fall Festival now out of competition. Tony Manganello in car 05, the AK chassis machine leading the way. Manganello raced only about half a season in 2010. He won multiple feature events in 2009. Got his first career win back in 2008, but could be seeing victory lane for the first time tonight in 32 laps if he can hold off the 0 of Dink Colarusso, the 3 of Teddy Gibala, and the 03 of Mike Bacalon. As Manganello continues to lead, we are 1/4 of the way through the Fall Festival feature for Napa Street Stocks. Dink Colarusso in 2nd spot, about 2 car lengths off his rear bumper. The 3 of Teddy Gibala using the low side of the speedway in 3rd spot. Then Mike Bacalon and Jeff Zellweger. Typical Friday night features for the Napa Street Stocks, 20 laps in distance. Tonight, 40 laps, double the weekly event distance, and Manganello shows the way. Caution flag on the speedway. The 15 car of Kenny Calhoun slowing drastically, and we believe may have lost something onto the speedway. The drive shaft, we believe from car 15, will bring out the caution for debris on the speedway. Kenny Calhoun, a regular competitor at the Sandusky Speedway in Ohio, making his first visit to Motordrome for this fall festival. Come up to speed as the green flag is waving. New race leader is Colarusso. Teddy Gibala about to get by for second. Dink Colarusso in car 0 with a late race surge and a couple of feature victories. Took his second straight track championship. Meanwhile, 4-time feature winner Teddy Gibala in car 3 challenges Manganello to the inside. He gets sideways out of 4 and makes a great save, but Manganello will maintain the second position officially on lap 13. Now the 03 of Mike Bacalon closes in on the rear of Gibala's machine after Gibala slid that car out of 4. The battle for 5th spot goes side by side in turn 3. The 76 of division rookie Christopher Knight and the 18 of Jeff Zellweger. Colarusso stretching out to a big lead now, the biggest lead of any driver so far in this event, working lap 15 of 40. Heavy attrition here as that early race crash subtracted about 6 cars from this field. It's Colarusso and Manganello, who last year were teammates before Colarusso formed his own street stock team and went to a second straight track championship this season. Working lap 17, cars in the top 5 equally spaced. An excellent run for the 76 of Christopher Knight. His first ever race in a street stock. He is in 5th position in car 76. Knight, a 2-time feature winner this year in the Coca-Cola Super Compact 4 cylinders, driving for the first time with 8 cylinders and rear wheel drive and doing a terrific job inside the top 5. At the midpoint of this event, 20 laps down, 20 laps to go. It continues to be Dink Colarusso out in front, Tony Manganello in second, as Colarusso made that bold pass in turn 3 on a restart. As Rich Nicola exits the speedway out of competition in car 75, Teddy Gibala races in the 3rd position, a 4-time winner this year. The 03 of Mike Bacalon is 4th. He's a former modified division champion. Looking for his first win of the season. He's only made about 4 starts in 2010. Then in 5th spot, the first-time street stock racer, Christopher Knight in car 76. Currently inside the top 5 with plenty of room between himself and the 6th place car of Jeff Zellweger. Colarusso, in spite of 2 consecutive track championships, has not won a major event like the Fall Festival. And at this time, it does look like his lead interval is shrinking. And Tony Manganello in car 05 may be gaining back some of the ground that he lost on that restart very slowly at the midpoint of this event. On lap 25, Colarusso's lead holding steady in car 0 over the 05 Tony Manganello. Third place driver Teddy Gibala, a distant third, nearly a straightaway between himself and the second place driver of Manganello. Now past the distance of a regular Friday night feature event, you've got to wonder at this point in the go, are these street stock drivers able to predict tire temperatures and tire wear as we approach lap 30? And Manganello now closing in drastically on the 0 of Colarusso. The 1 of Jeff Campbell from Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania, about to go a lap down to the leader. And as Colarusso moves around to pass the outside invader from Lake Erie Speedway, Manganello gains several car lengths. With 10 laps to go, Colarusso's lead is shrinking. Dink Colarusso, the race leader, who stole the point position from Tony Manganello on a restart. Keep in mind the added purse for this event and no points on the line. If they should begin to race for the lead, there will be no holds barred, as these two drivers were teammates a year ago and still close friends off the racetrack. 9 laps are remaining, and Manganello has closed the gap down to about 4 car lengths. No lap traffic in sight of the leaders. It'll be a clear speedway to the finish. Colarusso going very high and a little loose in turn 4. And again, Manganello gains. Interval down to about 2 car lengths in turn 1. 8 laps remaining. 2 drivers who have been to Motordrome victory lane repeatedly in their careers. Manganello looking for his first win of 2010. Colarusso looking to put an exclamation point on his second championship winning season. And the interval down to about 2 car lengths, make it 1.5 in turn 1 with 7 laps to go. Teddy Gibala, a distant third, nearly a straightaway behind the leaders. Colarusso of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, former Jennerstown Speedway champion. Manganello in car 05 has been to victory lane at Jennerstown. And with 6 laps to go, the lead interval holds steady. Colarusso a little loose in turn 2 as well, but Manganello unable to capitalize. Colarusso, the owner of the Pontiac Grand Prix 0. And Manganello, the driver for AK Chassis in car 05 with 5 laps to go. An open palm given to the drivers by chief starter Denny Carson from the flag stand. And Manganello may be gaining just a little bit still in turn 3. Manganello will stay at the bottom, and Colarusso switches to the bottom lane that time. Nevertheless, Manganello gains just a little bit more. 4 laps to go, and the lead interval is just over a car length. The 40-lap Fall Festival feature event for street stocks and the Piney Lasky Memorial 3rd annual event will have a different winner, as that crash early on eliminated the 2008 race winner, the 2009 race winner. And that time Manganello stayed low out of 4 and lost a couple car lengths. Into turn 1, a challenge for 4th position. Down the backstretch, the 03 of veteran Mike Bacalon is feeling pressure from first-time street stock starter Chris Knight in 76. There are 2 laps to go, and Knight was threatening to make a great run even better. Into turns 3 and 4, stretching out his advantage slightly, coming to the white flag to signal final lap. The driver from Greensburg, Pennsylvania, who struggled with this race car throughout the first half of 2010. He made a late race surge, a late season surge, and picked up a couple of feature victories en route to a 2nd consecutive Motordrome track title. And now out of turn 4 to win the biggest event of the season in his championship year, Dink Colarusso takes the checkered flag over Tony Manganello, Teddy Gibala. The battle for 4th will be won by Mike Bacalon, and first-time starter Christopher Knight grabs the 5th position. There we go, a Subway gift certificate for you. Dink Colarusso, first question, is this the most prestigious win of your career?
Yes, this is a race that I wanted when Stan came out with this, and we broke a tranny the first year. We blew a motor up last year. Last night in qualifying, when I pulled out on the racetrack, we broke a power steering belt. So I qualified 5th with no power steering. And just the gremlins. I just felt like there were so many gremlins every year coming down here, and this is a big win for me.
Now let's talk about that restart when you took the lead from one of your close off-track friends, Tony Manganello. Was he not able to come up to speed? Did you outshift him? Was that a strategy move?
No, I told Tony when we were down in that corner, whenever he wanted to go, I would go with him. And then he distinctively said, if you brake check, if you start and brake check, he's throwing the green. And Tony went, and then he got on the brakes, and then he throwed the green. And when I caught the green on my eye, I turned to the left and jumped on the throttle and went.
There he is. Some congratulations from Sean Phillips here in Victory Lane, who was eliminated in that crash early on. How about a chance to thank the sponsors and crew for this championship-winning season and this Piney Lasky Memorial victory?
I want to thank Stan for running this for the big race and the fans for coming out. I want to thank my McKeesport connection I got, because there's a lot of help there. I got to thank Kenny's uncle and my Uncle Mart. They religiously worked on this car the 3 weeks we were off to get some speed out of it. The sponsors, Tube City Beer, my cousin Vincent Sweeney at the medical company, Jay Steiner Heating AC, Signs the Designs by D. All the guys at Steve Black, I want to thank Steve for all the safety stuff he brought this year so we could go racing. Anybody else I might have missed.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, winning the biggest event of the season for the Napa Street Stocks, Dink Colarusso. Clemley, 1 Terry Akerley, 27 Vince Cater, green flag is out. And the Wyotech Modifieds are up to full speed in turns 1 and 2. Early race leader Lonnie Hoffman. We're 3 wide at the back of the pack. Chris Bailey is into the wall. He continues on. 17 car dropped back just a bit. Lonnie Hoffman will lead lap number 1. Battle for second on the outside, George Nicola from Pittsburgh. Jason Dieter takes the 2nd position, the Hamburg, New York invader. And climbing into 3rd spot, recently crowned track champion Chris Brink, the Glenn Campbell Gambler, is on the move. Side by side into turn 1 go fastest qualifier J.P. Weiser in the 17 and the 9 of George Nicola. Nicola falling back now a few positions. Adam Kostelnik is in the 4th spot. Up front, race leader Lonnie Hoffman. 4 times a feature winner here at his home track this season. He finished 2nd in the championship points chasing car 96. And now has a Lancaster, New York veteran chasing him in car 27, Jason Dieter, making his first start of the season here at Motordrome. Chris Brink is 3rd, and Dieter gets the car a little loose that time out of turn 4. That allows Chris Brink in car number 3 to look to the outside of him, possibly to challenge for 2nd on the back straight. Here comes that challenge. Track champion Chris Brink, the leading winner in the division. Wheel to wheel with New York's Jason Dieter for 2nd position on the front straight. By a wheel, Brink will be officially scored in the runner-up spot on lap 5 of 40. Now it's Adam Kostelnik looking to the outside of Jason Dieter in car 27. Kostelnik, the 00 machine, a feature winner this year and 6-time track champion. Just as he is challenging Dieter, fastest qualifier J.P. Weiser is challenging him for 4th. Lead battle develops on lap 6. Chris Brink took a look to the inside of Lonnie Hoffman. These 2 drivers were the championship contenders in 2010 at Motordrome, and now leading the way early in this 40-lap special event for the Wyotech Modifieds. Jason Dieter hangs on to 3rd. Side by side for 4th now, the 17 of J.P. Weiser, the Lake Erie Speedway champion of 2010. wheel to wheel with Adam Kostelnik in the HB Motorsports 00. Right behind them in car 14, it's veteran Bobby Bentz, out of retirement and back into competition for a part-time schedule in 2010. Weiser grabs the spot and Kostelnik will lose 2 positions in 1 lap. The 2008 winner of the Piney Lasky Memorial Fall Festival Modified Feature, Adam Kostelnik, has now been shoved out of the top 5 as we are working lap 9 of 40. JP Weiser on the move in 4th spot. Single file go the leaders with Lonnie Hoffman showing the way. Chris Brink tucking right up to his rear bumper in turn 3. Jason Dieter, the New York Invader, in 3rd, and Lake Erie Speedway champion. In car 17, JP Weiser, who got a victory here at Motordrome and 2 wins at Lake Erie this season. Lonnie Hoffman and Chris Brink, as they did so many times on Friday nights during our NASCAR sanctioned programs, battling for the lead. Working lap 11 of 40, and here comes Weiser for 3rd, down to the inside of Dieter. Wheel to wheel on the backstretch for 3rd, the 17 of JP Weiser. His first full season of competition this year at Motordrome. He picked up a win, and by less than a car length on lap 12 will be officially scored in 3rd position after setting fast time last night. Jason Dieter now shuffled back to 4th. Bobby Bentz, the man in 5th spot now in car 14. The veteran looks to make an inside pass of Dieter in turn 4, and coming to the scoring line, Bobby Bentz will take over 4th position. Gary Scott, also a man on the move here on lap 13. After a poor qualifying run for the 3-time feature winner, Gary Scott goes wheel to wheel with George Nicola for 7th position moving up through the field. Top 3 drivers racing very close together, bumper to bumper to bumper. Lonnie Hoffman, we got a caution flag, a spin in turns 3 and 4. The 75 of Bob Fisher making his first Motordrome appearance. Spins to the grass apron beneath turns 3 and 4, and we have a caution flag. Racing 14 of 40 laps completed. Race leader Lonnie Hoffman. Chris Brink, JP Weiser, and look at Bob Bentz get a launch off of turn 4. Into turn number 1, the longtime veteran Bobby Bentz throws the car sideways using the low groove beneath young JP Weiser and takes over 3rd position. Weiser, significantly younger than Bentz, who just stole 3rd position from him, as Bentz ended a retirement from the sport this season. Longtime late model team owner Bobby Bentz into 3rd spot as a driver this weekend, and part-time throughout 2010 in car 14. Makes a pass of last night's fastest qualifier Weiser, and up front Lonnie Hoffman and Chris Brink remain very close together. Brink, who typically prefers the outside lane of the Motordrome Speedway so far this afternoon, has only looked inside when he has an opportunity. No opportunity for a lead change to this point as our 2 season-long championship contenders trying to take checkered flag here today in the biggest event of the season at Motordrome. Fall Festival 3. 17 laps into the WyoTech modified 40-lap feature, and here comes Brink on the bottom. A rare inside pass as Chris Brink moves to the bottom of Lonnie Hoffman. They are wheel to wheel in turn 4 and at the scoring line. By less than a half a car length, Chris Brink will be officially scored as the leader on lap 18. They are still wheel to wheel. Brink yet to complete the pass with Lonnie Hoffman to his outside. Here comes Bobby Bentz in car 14 to make it a 3-car fight for the lead. Brink now secures the point position by just more than a car length, and Bobby Bentz looking to grab his first Motordrome checkered flag in many, many years, as he is challenging Lonnie Hoffman for 2nd position. All this side-by-side action has allowed JP Weiser to catch up, make it a 3-car battle for 2nd and 3rd now. Hoffman dirt tracks the car, gets a little loose in turn 4. Bentz still unable to complete the pass as there are now 10 laps to go. .40 laps the distance, and Chris Brink begins to work lap 21, so we have 19 laps remaining. Lonnie Hoffman now a distant second. After leading most of this event, Hoffman is already a third of a straightaway behind Brink, who is setting a torrid pace up front. Now the question is, Bobby Bentz in car 14 faster than Hoffman? Is JP Weiser in car 17 faster than Hoffman? If they can find a way around the driver in second spot, can either of them reel in race leader Chris Brink? Jason Dieter, the New York Invader, hangs on to 5th position, and closing in on him in 6th, it's Gary Scott making his first start with Viglione Racing in car 60. Lap 23, and Hoffman has gained some of that ground back on Chris Brink. Is Brink having a problem, perhaps, that all 3 of those race cars are gaining on him after he stormed into the lead? Battle for 5th goes side by side down the back straight. Gary Scott in the Viglione Racing car number 60. Moving to the inside of Hamburg, New York's Jason Dieter, a regular in Lancaster's Dunn Tire Park. On lap 25, Scott and Dieter remain side by side. The Viglione Racing number 60 is undefeated in fall festival events. In 2008, Adam Kostelnik made a last lap pass to win this event. In 2009, Mark Flick was brought in from the dirt tracks and went to victory lane in car 60. Now Gary Scott on lap 26 takes the Viglione Racing entry into 5th position around Jason Dieter. Lap 27, and up front Chris Brink's lead has evaporated to about 1.5 car lengths. Lonnie Hoffman remains in 2nd, Bobby Bentz in 3rd, JP Weiser in 4th. With 40 laps as the established distance for the fall festival for Wyotech Modifieds, we have now eclipsed the point of a regular Friday night feature event. So again, the question of tire wear, tire management becomes an issue. As Chris Brink at one point had nearly half a straightaway lead, he is now just 1 car length ahead of Lonnie Hoffman in car 96. Brink, the Glenn Campbell Gambler, driving the American Standard sponsored number 3. In 2nd spot, Lonnie Hoffman, the Scrinnies Automotive, Bruce's Kids World, Duke of Oil 96, the hometown hero. In 3rd spot, the Stans Transmissions, Monarch Oil 14 of Bobby Bentz. And they have put some distance between themselves and the 4th place car of fast qualifier JP Weiser in the 17. Here on lap 31, Chris Brink opens up another 2 to 3, maybe 4 car lengths over Hoffman. 9 laps remaining. With Gary Scott back in 5th position, it would appear, unless something drastic were to change, that there will be a new team celebrating in victory lane at the Fall Festival. Brink now really opening up that lead as the 60 car of Gary Scott all by himself in 5th. Then about half a straightaway or more up to the fast qualifier from last night in the 17 car, JP Weiser, the Lake Erie Speedway champion. All season long, Weiser used a Peanuts Eustis chassis, brings his Lake Erie car here for this big event and sets fast time last night. Now in 4th spot, chasing the 14 of Bobby Bentz. Bentz, who made some great moves early on in the 14 car, in 3rd spot, has been unable to challenge Lonnie Hoffman. Hoffman in the 2nd position as race leader Chris Brink puts the 27 of Vince Cater a lap down. Now Hoffman, Bentz, and Weiser will negotiate around the 27 machine here on the front stretch. 5 laps to go. Challenge for 2nd position, the 14 of Bobby Bentz took a look to the inside of Lonnie Hoffman. With 4 laps to go, Brink has about an 8-car length advantage over this battle for second. Hoffman second in the championship points chase. Now Benz looks to the inside, very close in 3, they touch. Lonnie Hoffman locks up the 4 wheels, continues on, the green flag stays out. Bobby Benz is now in second spot. Contact made with 3 laps to go. Now it is clear racetrack between the 14 of Benz and the 3 of Chris Brink, and Benz closes that gap in quickly. At the scoring line, the signal of 2 laps to go is given, and Bobby Benz is clearly gaining on the race leader. Chris Brink, the recently crowned modified champion in the Wyotech Open Wheel Warriors, has 2 laps between himself and the biggest victory of his career. Bobby Benz, the semi-retired veteran, now in second spot as a result of that aggressive pass of Lonnie Hoffman, and the white flag is waving. The driver we call the Glenn Campbell Gambler, a former limited late model ace at Jennerstown Speedway, who decided to switch from stock cars to the open wheel modifieds, became a champion of Motordrome Speedway for the first time in 2010, and will take the checkered flag in the biggest event of the year, winning the Fall Festival. It's Chris Brink over Bobby Benz, J.P. Weiser, Lonnie Hoffman, and Gary Scott. Chris, a Subway gift certificate for you. Is this the biggest win of your racing career? Limited late models, modifieds, all things together?
Without a doubt, this is the biggest win. This is probably better than winning the championship. This is a big deal to me, and I appreciate all the fans coming, and I appreciate the Laskys for putting this on for us.
40 laps on a daylight surface. Did you experience any different handling or different tire wear today in charging up around those fast race cars to take the lead as you did today?
My brother sets the car up. He tells me when to go, and that's when I go, and that's all there is to it. I'm not the setup guy. I'm just a driver.
Now let's talk about one of your biggest fans here in Victory Lane, because I guess we call that a lucky paint scheme, not only on the race car, but on one of your family members, shall we say.
That's our baby. My wife's a dog groomer, and she decorated our dog Windsor. He's our mojo. When Windsor's here, we go. But I tell you, our biggest fans are in the stands. We got neighbors that come down here from our hometown. They were down here at 2 o'clock. It's a big deal. And Dave is a wounded Vietnam vet, has suffered that war his whole life, and I appreciate it, and it's a big deal.
Emotional dedication here, and it's about to get even more emotional as you will don the Piney Lasky cowboy hat here in Victory Lane. A chance to thank all your sponsors and crew.
Well, my wife, first of all, and my brother, Rick Weller, and Falcarelli families supported us for about 7 years. American Standard Heating and Cooling Equipment, Bradford White Water Heaters, Mahoney Outdoor Furnaces, and but mostly the family. That's the big deal here.
And a big deal it is. Ladies and gentlemen, track champion about to don the cowboy hat, Chris Brink in Victory Lane. Here to give the most famous words in all of racing, promoters of the Motordrome Speedway, the Lasky family, and Mr. Stan Lasky.
Dad and Mom, for all the wonderful things you've done for your family, for all the great things you've done for racing. This one's for you. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Two-time winner in car 96, and North Carolina's Michael Pilla in car 4. Green flag is out, and the Piney Lasky Memorial is underway for 2010. 2 by 2, most of the field. Mark Poole with about a 1-car length lead over North Carolina's Michael Pilla. And lap 1 goes into the books. Side by side for third. Glenn Galt Jr. on the inside. Neil Brown, the 2008 event winner, on the outside. Door to door out of turn number 4, and Brown will take third position. Working lap 2, Glenn Galt Jr. seeking his first win at Motordrome in several starts in special events. Colt James in car 15, the fastest qualifier. Riding in 5th and trying to challenge Galt to the outside for 4th. Door on the backstretch. Galt, the son of a former Motordrome and NASCAR Northeast champion. Colt James, the young North Carolina invader, takes away the position. And the biggest winner in recent seasons of the Concord Big Ten Series, Colt James, is on the move in car 15. '77 of Harry Hendershot goes a lap down early. That car not up to speed. Working lap 5. Race leader is Mark Poole. Second by about 12 car lengths, the 4 of Michael Pilla, and he's got pressure from Neil Brown. Brown wants to take the second position away in spite of being very early in this 100-lap affair. Working lap 6, he nearly got into the rear poker of Pilla in turn 4 of lap 5. Colt James is right behind this duo, second, third, and fourth behind leader Mark Poole. He is aligned with Will Thomas, Gary Wiltrout, and they are moving by the 15 car. Glenn Galt Jr. in car 32 with fellow Ohio driver Robbie Pyle, the winning ASA veteran. They are door-to-door behind Barry Audi. Audi was the winner of the 1992 Fall Festival at Jennerstown Speedway. Feature winner this season as well as Audi, and Robbie Pyle making his first start at Motordrome in this car 93. Second heats up just a bit again. But the action into turn 3 and 4 is furious. Steve Black and Bobby Henry making a pass there. Both of those drivers moving around three-time track champion Rick Miller in the 21 car. Defending race winner Will Thomas in the 9 car. Grudo teammates right in tow, Gary Wiltrout and Bobby Henry. All 3 of those drivers have been to victory lane in 50-lap NASCAR sanctioned events in 2010. Car pulls out of competition. The 77 of Harry Hendershot experiencing problems. He is off the surface. Thomas, Wiltrout, Henry, and Black racing very close together. Just inside the top 10 are those drivers. Up front it remains Mark Poole with about an 8-car length lead headed to the scoring line. He begins to work lap 16. Michael Pilla, in his first ever visit to Motordrome Speedway, has car number 4 in second spot all by himself. Then it's the 14 of Neil Brown and the 15 of Colt James. Brown driving for Benz Motorsports. He's made only a handful of starts for that team this season. None of his 3 wins in 2010 were aboard this car 14. And Colt James, last year's head turner in the Piney Lasky Memorial. He made the trip from Newton, North Carolina a year ago and came from the tail twice, only to be penalized for rough driving late in the go and finish 11th. Brown, the 2008 winner of the Piney Lasky Memorial. And they are about 8 to 10 car lengths behind the 4 of Michael Pilla as race leader Mark Poole. In car 96, the Howard Concrete Pumping Donaldson Supply Chevrolet on lap 19 out in front of the field, but facing some heavy lap traffic in the next few laps. Looming in front of him, the 23 of Dusty Rhodes, the Jenners, Pennsylvania veteran. And just in front of him, several cars racing for position that Poole will need to negotiate as we are 1/5 of the way through the 2010 Piney Lasky Memorial 100. There's contact among the lap cars there in front of the leader. It's Komarinsky, Ravenscroft, Glemba, and Russell. And this battle is happening right in front of the race leader, Mark Poole. Poole enters turns 1 and 2, and just in time, the lapped cars go single file. Nathan Russell, who had a problem in qualifying last night, goes a lap down. Virgil Ravenscroft III goes a lap down. Now in front of Poole, it's a battle for position between John Komarinsky and Bo Glemba. On lap 22 of 100, Mark Poole moves around Komarinsky, who's been a winner in this division. He moves around Glemba, a former modified winner. Now the 4 of Michael Pilla negotiates the lap traffic. Pilla around the 78 of Glemba, and it's now clear racetrack about 4 car lengths between race leader Poole and the North Carolina invader Pilla in his first Motordrome start. Now the lead duo to the outside of the 51 of Todd Price. Price, a feature winner this season, but going a lap down early as we're working lap number 24, and that enables Pilla in car 4 to get very close to Mark Poole's rear bumper. They are nearly side by side on the front straight as we are at lap 25. The 1/4 mark of this event, and race leader Mark Poole on the back straight in car 96 has his lead threatened for the first time tonight. Michael Pilla in car 4, a regular at the Concord Motor Speedway in North Carolina, a racer on the Big Ten Traveling Series. On lap 26 is only a couple car lengths behind, and as Pilla threatens to take the lead away from Mark Poole, Colt James is right on the rear bumper of Neil Brown. That would be a battle for third. Michael Pilla to the inside in turn 4. In car number 4, on lap 28 of the Piney Lasky Memorial, will the young North Carolina driver lead his first laps at Motordrome? Poole with less than a car length advantage, and they are fast approaching the number 24 of Clarence, New York's Dave Riggin. Riggin, who's had some outstanding top 5 runs here at Motordrome in Crown Jewel events, in jeopardy of going a lap down on circuit number 29. Pilla able to hold the low side, but unable to officially take the lead yet from Mark Poole. At the scoring line, each lap, Poole manages to be just out in front, and that will change on lap 30. A new race leader officially by inches at the scoring line. It was the 4 of Michael Pilla beating 2-time winner Mark Poole to the scoring line, but they are still door to door. Can Pilla complete the pass before they put a lap on Dave Riggin? And he does. In his first visit to Motordrome Speedway, Michael Pilla, a top qualifier in last night's time trials, taking the lead away from one of the last 3 seasons' biggest winners at Motordrome, home track favorite Mark Poole, now in second spot. Battle for third may be heating up. The 14 of Neil Brown, former Jennerstown track champion, former winner of the Piney Lasky Memorial, trying to hold off the 15 of Colt James. In the top 5 running order right now, it's North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and now Ohio, as Robbie Pyle has vaulted himself onto the scoreboard, making a pass of Barry Audi for 5th spot. Robbie Pyle, the ASA National Series winner in car 93, into the top 5 now. After last night, he set the 5th fastest qualifying time. Caution flag is waving on the speedway. Debris on the racetrack will bring out our first caution flag on lap 34 of 100. Green flag will wave once again. On lap 34, race leader Michael Pilla. And gets a tremendous hole shot on the start. Mark Poole, the big loser on that restart, as he loses many car lengths to Michael Pilla and may lose the second position to Neil Brown. Two of the weekly Motordrome competitors door to door out of turn 4. And up to second spot goes Neil Brown. Brown, the 2008 winner of this event, in his own number 98 Ford, steering a Benz Motorsports entry this weekend. The Stans Transmissions Monarch Oil Chevrolet, and we got a caution flag. A blown engine, the 13 of Virgil Ravenscroft, smoking onto the backstretch and leaving a trail of oil through turns 1 and 2. 35, race leader Michael Pilla in car 4, Neil Brown in second, Mark Poole third, Colt James in fourth, and fifth, Robbie Pyle. And look at Brown storming to the apron of the racetrack on the restart. He moves around young Michael Pilla and takes over the lead with a bold move onto the apron of the speedway at the wave of the green. Michael Pilla back to second position where he was behind Mark Poole. Now he is chasing Neil Brown on lap 36. Brown, the former event winner, instantly opens up a 3 or 4 car length advantage. Battle now for third. North Carolina's Colt James challenging early race leader Mark Poole for third. Door to door on the front stretch. Nearly a dead heat at the scoring line on lap 37. Add to that battle the 93 of Columbus, Ohio's Robbie Pyle. Two nationally traveling superstars. Moving to the inside of a Motordrome Speedway hero, Mark Poole. Colt James secures the third spot on lap 38. Robbie Pyle is now looking to the inside of Mark Poole. Barry Audi is right there with this battle, the 6th place driver. Side by side again go the 93 of Robbie Pyle and the 96 of Mark Poole. Pyle with experience in the main event series, the CRA series, and the NASCAR Weekly Series as a champion of Columbus Speedway. Pyle has been to victory lane in the ASA National Tour, and he is haunting the rear bumper of Mark Poole on lap 41. Barry Audi sits behind this battle in car 75, the former Jennerstown champion. Into turn 4, Pyle has his best run on Poole to this point. Nearly a dead heat at the scoring line, but on lap 42, oh, we got a lead battle. Turning our attention back to the front, Michael Pilla storms to the inside of Neil Brown. Side by side, the young Southerner and the veteran from Western Pennsylvania, and Pilla takes over the point position. Here comes Colt James. James will storm by Brown, and in one lap, Acme, Pennsylvania's Neil Brown goes from the lead to third. A pair of North Carolina drivers are out in front of this field. Young Michael Pilla and Big Ten Series winner Colt James now pacing the Piney Lasky Memorial. Working lap 44. And now a battle for third. Robbie Pyle has not only passed Mark Poole, he's now diving to the inside of Neil Brown. Brown having a problem as cars are moving by him in wholesale fashion. Mark Poole gets by, Barry Audi gets by. 5 laps shy of the midpoint. The running order is now North Carolina, Ohio, until you get back to 4th spot. The first Western Pennsylvania driver is Mark Poole, and Barry Audi is challenging him for 4th position on lap 46. Side by side, out of turn 2 down the backstretch. And Neil Brown rolls to a stop on the back straight. Caution flag will fly on lap 46. Action. He will restart from the tail as the green flag waves. Michael Pilla and fellow Tar Heel Colt James lead the field into turn number 1. Robbie Pyle restarts seconds from third, and look at Barry Audi in 75. Audi, a feature winner in 2009 and 10 here at Motordrome, door to door with Mark Poole. The defending winner of the Piney Lasky Memorial, Will Thomas in car 9. Thomas has won races in Lancaster, New York, Oswego, New York, Jennerstown, Lake Erie, and Motordrome in Pennsylvania, and he's won the Asphalt World Series in New Smyrna, Florida. Now he climbs into 5th position in car 9. Up front, Michael Pilla in car 4, with Colt James in car 15 right in tow. These two drivers race with one another frequently in the southeastern United States in 100-lap events. Pilla making his first ever visit to Motordrome Speedway out in front. Third place driver Robbie Pyle may be gaining on both of them in car 93. We are past the midpoint of the Piney Lasky Memorial 100. Lap 51, and that means all restarts will be double file from here to the finish. And Robbie Pyle definitely gaining on the lead duo. In car 93, Pyle reeling in the 15 of Colt James. Pyle with an extensive racing resume throughout the Northeast and the South, making his first visit to Motordrome Speedway. In the Kid O Sport Juices 33 goes a lap down as Pilla, James, and Pyle setting a very quick pace. Komarinsky has won in the Subway Super Late Models and is a former Pro Stock champion. Michael Pilla in car number 4 and Colt James in 15. Now find Robbie Pyle just about a car length and a half from their lead battle. The 75 of Barry Audi, the only Pennsylvania regular Motordrome competitor in the top 5, does also seem to be gaining on Pyle in 3rd. Working lap number 57, clear racetrack for the next few laps for the leaders before more traffic will be encountered. A 4-car breakaway from the rest of the field. Michael Pilla, Colt James, Robbie Pyle, and Barry Audi. And we got a caution flag. Paul Urso goes into the outside wall in turn 2. Steve Black in car number 1 is also involved. Both of those drivers have been Motordrome winners in their super late model careers, and Black pulls away from the scene. Rick Miller in car 21. Restarts from 8th as the green flag waves. Lap 58, and we're back in competition. Look at Robbie Pyle trying to take away 2nd position from Colt James. A pair of national superstars. From the Midwest, the 93 car is driven this weekend by Robbie Pyle, and from the Southeast, Colt James in car 15. 2 drivers always in the national spotlight, dueling for 2nd position here in the Piney Lasky Memorial. Behind Michael Pilla in the 4, now Will Thomas is on the move. Last year's winner of this event in car number 9, threatening to take away 4th position from the 75 of Barry Audi. They are door to door. Thomas, who has 4 career Motordrome victories, including 3 weeks ago when he won the regular season finale in car 9. A 3-time Lake Erie Speedway champion. Audi in car 75, a former Clearfield Speedway champion and a former Jennerstown champion. They are still door to door all the way around the half mile. Thomas on the inside, Audi on the outside, fighting for 4th as we are working lap 61. Shuffled back as we see Bobby Henry advancing. Henry in car, and Rick Miller slows. Miller is off the pace. Contact between these cars. Larry Bahana in the 00 advances. The 14 of Neil Brown, who needed that double file restart under caution to gain ground on the leaders after his pit stop, has moved around former race leader Mark Poole. The 14 of Brown from Acme, Pennsylvania, now closing in on Bobby Henry, the 2007 Motordrome track champion. Brown, the former Jennerstown champ, easily passes Henry, locks himself back into the top 10 positions after the pit stop. Working lap number 65. Race leader still the 4 car, Michael Pilla. First visit to Motordrome. Second spot, Colt James in 15. Third spot, Robbie Pyle, another first-time Motordrome visitor. Pyle in the 93 car. The eldest of the 3 drivers racing at the front of this field with far more experience than the very young Michael Pilla and the very successful Colt James. Working lap 67, these 3 drivers have now pulled away from Barry Audi in 4th, and Will Thomas sits all alone in 5th with clear racetrack in front of and behind him. Just behind Thomas, we see the 00 of Larry Bahana having a great run to this point. Bahana seeking his first checkered flag in several seasons. And right behind him, the fast advancing Neil Brown in car 14. Scott Wiley hits pit side in car 47 and is pulling out of competition. The New York Invader retiring from the Piney Lasky Memorial 100 on lap 69. Lap traffic for the leaders now. John Komarinsky in car 33, slowing, pulling to the inside to allow the leaders to pass by with 30 laps to go. Will another caution flag period help Neil Brown to gain on the leaders? Will Larry Bahana continue this unbelievable run? Can defending race winner Will Thomas threaten for a second straight victory? Bobby Henry is off the pace. The 11 car heads pit side. The hottest driver of the second half of the season at Motordrome Speedway is out, and a caution flag into the inside wall on the front straight. Car 78, Bo Glemba. Glemba, a multiple feature winner in the modified division. He turned dirt track racer and returned to pavement for the last 2 events here. And the Hemphill Racing entry is badly damaged to the inside wall. Out of competition. As we get set to go back to green flag racing, 29 laps to go. Michael Pilla, Colt James, and Robbie Pyle lead him to the green. Again, Pyle is able to briefly challenge Colt James for a second. Look at Neil Brown going 3 wide into turn 3. Car 14 is on the move. He breaks the car a little loose out of turn number 4, but gained about 2 positions in 1 corner on lap 72. Neil Brown coming back from a pit stop. He brought out the caution flag in car 14. The crew made adjustments, and he has passed every car on the racetrack except 4, as he is now in 5th position. Pilla continues to lead. Colt James 2nd. Robbie Pyle now a more distant 3rd, about 8 to 10 car lengths back. Barry Audi in 4th. Neil Brown 5th. And just behind him, Thomas, those 2 drivers, the previous winners of the Piney Lasky Memorial. And Brown dives to the inside of Barry Audi, unable to complete the pass in turns 1 and 2, but in turn 3, he outbreaks the 75 car and secures the 4th position. Up front with 25 laps to go, it appears that Colt James in car 15 is now ready to make a move. Fellow Tar Heel Michael Pilla has led this event for much of the go, and now sneaking to the inside in turn 3. Colt James will take over the lead by a fender officially on lap 76 at the scoring line. Now he completes the pass as Pilla makes a miscue. Robbie Pyle in the 93 makes up several car lengths in 3rd spot now. Brown is 4th, Audi is 5th, Thomas is 6th. lap 77, Newton, North Carolina's Colt James, putting 4 or 5 car lengths between himself and Michael Pilla. Robbie Pyle third, Neil Brown back up to fourth as he gained positions in a bold restart move. Although Brown was the man on the move moments ago, Barry Audi in 75 is threatening to take over 4th spot again. As Mark Poole in the 96 heads pit side, he is retired from the event. John Komarinsky in 33 goes a lap down. Pilla, Pyle, and Brown all streak by, as does Audi. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, losing ground to the 15 of Colt James. 20 laps to go. Now Brown puts some distance between himself and the 75 of Audi, and Brown is now haunting the rear bumper of the 93 of Robbie Pyle. They touch, Pyle spins the Howe chassis house car around. Rick Miller gets into the back of Pyle. Now Gary Wiltrout spins to avoid. 3rd place driver Robbie Pyle spins off the front bumper of Neil Brown in car 14. And the green flag is back out, 19 laps to go. Barry Audi in car 75 secures a position to the inside of Michael Pilla and takes the runner-up position. Gary Wiltrout squeezed to the outside wall by Larry Bahana on the restart. Will Thomas is 4th, Michael Pilla now 3rd, and Barry Audi in 2nd. Earlier this afternoon, Barry Audi was so happy with his car that they barely practiced the number 75 machine. Same can be said of leader Colt James, and now they are at the head of this field. Tommy Beck in car 60 retires from competition. 17 laps to go. Neil Brown in the center of the backstretch, passing cars. He's to the inside of Steve Black in the 1. He's closing in on Glenn Galt Jr. in 32. With so many cars a lap down, Brown not out of sight of the lead at this point. And a battle for 4th. Larry Bahana storms by the defending race winner, Will Thomas. Bahana in car 00, who retired from action in the 1990s and returned in super late model action with his own under-financed 00 car, moves around the former Mara Series champion. And we got a caution flag. Nathan Russell into the wall in turn number 2 in car 26. The 1992 winner of the Fall Festival, Barry Audi, takes the green flag side by side with Colt James. Into turn number 1, they touch at the end of the front straight. Michael Pilla in car 4, still a part of this battle. One home track driver between a pair of North Carolina invaders. James out to a 2-car length lead. Audi to the high side of Michael Pilla. And we got another caution flag. Steve Black in car 1 pulls away from the scene of a spin on the inside of the back straight, and Barry Audi will have another attempt to take the lead away from Colt James. And clearly Steve Black, the 2-time winner, has made contact at the front and rear of his Toyota. Will Thomas and Gary Wiltrout in row 3, and there's the green flag. Side by side, they enter turn 1. Audi with more laps around the Motordrome Speedway than most anybody else in this starting field. Inches ahead of Colt James into turn 3, but James maintains the lead into 4. Neil Brown threatening to enter the top 5 once again as he is to the inside of Gary Wiltrout, and now moving to the inside of Will Thomas in the 9 car. Are there enough laps left for Neil Brown to continue passing cars inside the top 5? Now Brown to the inside of Larry Bahana. Neil Brown is threatening to take 4th position, and he does. Completing the pass into turn 3, Neil Brown from the back to the front 2 times in the Piney Lasky Memorial. 10 laps to go. Colt James with a lead of about 4 to 5 car lengths over Barry Audi. Michael Pilla in 3rd and the fast closing Neil Brown in 4th. James with his 2nd visit to Motordrome Speedway this weekend set fast time in qualifying last night and is 9 laps away from a giant paycheck north of the Mason-Dixon line. Neil Brown in the 14 is putting distance between himself and Larry Bahana, but is not able to threaten Michael Pilla for 3rd position with 8 laps to go. Remaining. Colt James is out in front. Barry Audi in 2nd and appears at this point to be losing ground to the leader. Then it's Michael Pilla and Neil Brown. Audi, the lone Pennsylvanian, separating the 2 North Carolina invaders at the front of the field with 5 laps to go. Remaining, the lead holds steady for Colt James. Audi may be gaining a car length or 2 there in turn 3. And with 3 laps to go, Audi is indeed closing. But does he have enough laps to make up that final 2 car lengths between himself and Colt James? Audi, who's been racing asphalt late models since the late 1980s, has probably turned more laps here at Motordrome than anyone else and is indeed closing on James. With 2 to go, will they reach the slower car of John Komarinsky? They will on the back straight. Komarinsky goes a lap down and Audi encounters him at the worst possible moment in turn 3. Still holds pretty well even with James as the white flag is waving. Audi a car length and a half from his biggest career victory. On the rear bumper of Colt James, Michael Pilla in 3rd down the backstretch the final time. Can Audi make a last-ditch effort to win in memory of his late friend Piney Lasky? Out of turn 4, Colt James will win in his 2nd visit to Motordrome Speedway over Barry Audi, Michael Pilla, Neil Brown, and Larry Bahana. Fans of Western Pennsylvania got to see you for the first time exactly 1 year ago in this prestigious event held in memory of Piney Lasky. What were your impressions last season of the Motordrome Speedway?
Well, you know, I probably didn't leave here on the best terms last year, so you know, just one of them deals. Every racer has that kind of race. You know, we had some problems at the beginning of the race. I got into a couple guys. It's not how I drive, so it's just one of them deals. But I like the track. It's real bumpy, has a lot of character, you know, real racy, a lot of fun.
Now, was it that giant paycheck alone that lured your team up from North Carolina to return to this event, or was it the prestige of an event held in memory of legendary Piney Lasky that made your team make this long tow for the 2nd season up here to Motordrome?
You know, I don't know what to say. This is a great race. My buddy's Jason Lasky. Piney was his grandfather, you know, and that's basically why I come here. You know, his birthday's today. And I promised him I'd get that cowboy hat for him.
Indeed, it will be a prestigious moment. Now let's talk about this race. Was the car just as good at the beginning, the middle, and the end of this race, or did the tires wear out for you? Did you have any handling issues all day?
I got way loose. Barry had looked like he had a faster car than me at the end, and it was like 10 qualifying laps there that last restart, and it was really good. it's the first time I've ever drove on this tire compound, and I might have went a little too hard in the middle, and it got a little free there towards the end. But I mean, Barry was dogging me. He was making me get up on that wheel, so it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I mean, everybody drove me clean. I hope everybody thinks the same of me now, and that was my main impression. I just wanted to leave here with everybody, think I'm a good, clean driver.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Victory lane in the third running of the Piney Lasky Memorial 100 from Newton, North Carolina, Colt James. As the Chargers roll into turn one, we've got contact. The 44 of Bob Garchak Jr. goes around after contact. And we will need a caution flag. Looking for a career first win, lead us to the green. Ron Eifert and John Scott in row 2. Gary Ankrum in 21 holds down a top 5 spot. Zane Farrell and AJ Poljak side by side. Up front, Chad Goring, the rookie. The HB Motorsports 00 car. Out in front of the 12 of Roger Bryan as Ron Eifert glides into third position. John Scott in the 71, not allowing Ron Eifert to enjoy the third position as Gary Ankrum gets the car a little loose. The 21's down on the apron, now back on the pavement. 3 wide on the front straight, Farrell, Poljak, and Ankrum. AJ Poljak gains a position or 2 headed down the backstretch. He's into 5th as Goring continues to lead over Bryan in the third place battle. Eifert and Scott in 71. We're 3 wide again on the front straight. Ankrum is hard into the wall after contact from the 14 of Zane Farrell. And Ankrum continues on in spite of dumping body parts all over the speedway. That was a hard impact after 3 wide racing a couple of different times. Never a good idea. That car is still moving around the speedway in spite of... And he gets into the back of Denny Keller, although Keller was not at all a part of that incident. Action after a pit stop starting at the tail of the field. Poljak now the man on the move. The battle for third had included Eifert and Scott. Now it includes Poljak, and he appears to be faster perhaps than both of those race cars. Goring continues to lead on lap 4 of 25. And look at Poljak again going 3 wide. This time it's in turn 3 as he was briefly alongside the 61 of Eifert, but looks now to take the 4th spot away from John Scott. Poljak, a winner this season on the dirt at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, after an inside pass of Scott trying to look outside of Eifert. The 25 lap distance, a significant increase from the weekly feature distance for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, so these drivers can use much more patience than we would normally see on a Friday night. And Poljak to the inside takes third away from Eifert. Eifert, one of the leading winners in this division, and look at Poljak storm to the inside of Smithton's Roger Bryan quickly. And the number 2 car will be number 2 on the scoreboard behind rookie Chad Goring on lap 7. Zane Farrell still trying to move up from the rear, perhaps suffering some damage from that incident with Gary Ankrum on the front stretch. Now Now it's Denny Keller going side by side with John Scott. Keller in car 13 looking to advance himself onto the scoreboard, wheel to wheel with the sophomore driver. Couple of position challenges there. Bryan in jeopardy of losing third to Eifert, and Scott in jeopardy of losing fifth to Keller. And Poljak completes the pass for the lead, quickly stealing the spot from Chad Goring, now opening up a big lead. Poljak had a win in 2009 at Motordrome Speedway. In only a handful of starts, and last night this car was damaged after an incident with the outside retaining wall. But now with 10 laps completed, Poljak stretches out to a lead over Goring, Eifert. Now it's Keller and Farrell, the two championship contenders door to door. Eleven laps completed, and Zane Farrell completes his outside lane pass of Denny Keller in car 13. And he plants himself to the outside of Ron Eifert in 61. Two top winners of the season go door to door for third now. Farrell by a fender on lap 12 officially scored in third spot. Now 14, Zane Farrell, not content to ride in third spot. The king of the Chargers in 2010. Right to the rear bumper of Chad Goring's 00 car. A former Jimmy Christoffel ride that Goring is now using with HB Motorsports. And Farrell diving into turn 1 on lap 14. Car 14 takes over the runner-up position. AJ Poljak continues to lead. Laps remaining, and Farrell from the back of this field after a pit stop has passed every machine on the speedway except for one. Poljak with a 3 or 4 car length advantage down the back straight sees that dwindle to about 1 car length in turn 3. Denny Keller meanwhile trying to challenge Goring for third spot. The battle for the lead, about 2 to 3, maybe 4 car lengths for Poljak each time out of turn 2. And Farrell able to close that gap each lap in turn 4. Working lap 17. Chevrolet Malibu on the inside, Chevrolet Monte Carlo on the outside. Charger Division race cars are 8-cylinder rear-wheel drive street cars competing on street tires. And Farrell looks to the outside this time out of 4. Poljak with just exactly a car length lead on lap 18 at the scoring line. The Jim Connolly owned number 2 of AJ Poljak. And the R&R Tree Service 14 of Zane Farrell door to door out of turn number 4. This time by a fender, Farrell becomes the new leader on lap 19. 25 laps the distance. Farrell yet to complete the pass of Poljak, and Poljak battles back. Leaders are door to door with lap traffic looming in front of them on the front straight. 3 wide into turn number 1. Look at Poljak thread the needle. Farrell officially the leader again, only by inches. They were about to trade paint and maybe even primer as they were 3 wide into turn number 1. Now Poljak has officially scored the leader. Working lap 21, it's another lead change. Poljak out in front, only by a fender and a door. A harder working announcer would time that interval and tell you the gap in thousandths of seconds, but I'd rather call it in body parts. Now let's see if Poljak can hold another fender advantage. It's a whole car length out of 4. Both cars were sideways on lap 22. 3 laps to go. Now we get aggressive. Denny Keller took 3rd spot from Chad Goring, and he is closing in on both of the leaders. Denora's Denny Keller, the most veteran of the 3 drivers up front, reeling in this lead battle. Farrell again looks to the outside. Poljak trying to make that Malibu 5 car widths wide as there are 2 to go. Now contact is made. Last race of the season, no points on the line. As Farrell and Poljak get aggressive, the white flag is displayed. Nearly a dead heat by a bumper. Poljak remains out in front. They're touching in turn 1. Swapping stickers, trading paint. Farrell throws it sideways. Here comes Denny Keller. 3 cars to fight for the win. Keller makes a miscue on the backstretch. Last time into turn 3. Farrell takes the lead once again and will pick up his 2nd straight win in the Fall Festival. Zane Farrell will win it over A.J. Poljak, Denny Keller, Chad Goring, and Ron Eifert. Zane Farrell, congratulations. That was a ton of fun to watch.
I didn't mean to hit Gary, but I thought he saw me, but when he came up, I felt real bad for him, but that was a lot of fun to watch. I figured our tire was going to be knocked out and we weren't going to be near the front, but I can't believe this car marched the whole way to the front in 20 laps.
That Poljak guy only shows up once in a while, but man, that bright green car can go.
He's an experienced driver. He knows what he's doing. He's a real good guy on and off the track, and that was a lot of fun racing with him. I think that was the best racing I've ever done all year.
After coming from the back to the front, your resume building with a championship this season, one last chance to thank the sponsors and crew that brought you that division title in your 2nd year.
I'd like to thank West Newton Bike Shops, Funk's Plumbing, Chet Joseph's, West Newton Bike Shop. I think he's up in the stands there somewhere. R&R Tree Service and S&S Automotive, and Linda Brown's Floral. I can't thank Smokey Barrett enough for giving me a motor. I'm speechless. I can't believe we did it.
A speechless winner in victory lane once again, ladies and gentlemen, Zane Farrell. Jamie Hebner in 51, Matt Sever in 83, Paul Koffler Jr. in the 1, Will Ashton in 24, Mark Tringes Jr. 47, 62, Dale Grubbs Jr., 37, Ben Stahl, 49, Mark Tringes Sr. The green flag is out and we're 3 wide all over the track as pole starter Scott Alborn did not come up to speed. And the race leader is Steve Settle in car 3. Steve Settle, the race leader, a winner in 2 different divisions in his career. Look at the 3 wide headed into turn 3. Koffler the 3rd, Koffler Jr. and Hebner in 51. Two laps in the books of 25. In the middle of the pack, it looks like we're gonna go 3 wide again. This time it's McAvoy, Koffler, and Sever. Sever doing double duty this weekend, back behind the wheel of his 83 car with which he won the track championship and this race a year ago. Sever gets into McAvoy in the 77. McAvoy spins nearly into the path of Mark Tringes Jr., and we have a caution flag. To answer the call of defending our country, Will Ashton in car 24, and the green flag is back out. Steve Settle, the race leader. Just to conclude, tomorrow Will Ashton will leave for camp, embarking on his military career, and we wish him well in car 24. Steve Settle, the race leader, over Andrew Dukavich, a fast closing Andrew Dukavich in car 04. Challenge for third develops, the 27 of Steve Long from Rockwood, Pennsylvania, being pressured by the 1 of Paul Koffler Jr. from West Leisenring, Pennsylvania. Jamie Hebner in the 51 right there as well. The Jamie Hebner machine, currently in 5th, the blue 51 car. That New York driver just picked up a $1,000 Enduro victory at the Lake Erie Speedway. The Erie Speedway, sorry, on the dirt track of the Erie Speedway. We are 6 laps in of a 25-lap season ender for the Super Compacts. Matt Sever is storming back up through this field in car 83. Still up front, the 3 of Steve Settle, the 04 of Andrew Dukavich, and the 1 of Paul Koffler Jr. Each of the top 3 drivers, former competitors at the Farmington dirt track, and all 3 drivers very close friends off the racetrack and nearly neighbors. Matt Sever is really charging through this field. The EESI sponsored 83, that car is for sale. We got a caution flag. Caution flag, I believe, for debris on the speedway. 51 of Hebner, the recent Enduro winner on the dirt, challenging for a top 5 position as the green flag waves. Last year, Matt Sever was the winner. Now Matt Sever from the tail of the field up to 6th spot in car 83. Hebner in the 51 takes a position away from Long, a former winner in this division. Now Sever in the 83 pulling up alongside the driver who steered this machine earlier in the season and takes the spot away from Long. Here comes Paul Koffler the 3rd. Koffler in the 48 challenging. He is side by side and looking to move ahead. Ten of 25 laps completed. Sever challenging Hebner. And Matt Sever is back up to 4th. After the early race caution flag incident, Matt Sever, the teenager, is on the move. Last year, he won double-digit features in the Super Compacts, vaulting him into the street stocks this season. He's a 3-time winner this year and has a long way to go to catch the rear bumper of the 1 of Paul Koffler Jr., who's in 3rd position. Into turn 1 go the leaders. Koffler for the moment all by himself in 3rd. 1st and 2nd, it's Steve Settle in the 3. Andrew Dukavich in the 04. Settle, who was a multi-feature winner in this division and a winner in the Chargers, sees the crossed flags indicating halfway home. Appears that 2nd position driver Andrew Dukavich is closing on the 3 of Steve Settle. This a new Super Compact for Settle. Steve Settle abandons the Pontiac Grand Am for this Dodge Neon and is a threat to go to victory lane in the biggest event of the season. 25 laps the distance. And with 10 to go and clear racetrack in front, he now puts several car lengths between himself and the 04. Dukavich, a multiple feature winner this season, Settle with 1 win. Koffler Jr. in the 1, a multiple feature winner. And Matt Sever, who hasn't driven this car all season long, in 4th. And Matt Sever closes the gap nearly 3 wide there with Mark Tringes Sr. in his challenge of Paul Koffler Jr. Up from the tail of the field, Sever, clearly the fastest car on the track. Will he have time to gain on the leaders in the last 6 laps? A difficult pass here for 3rd as Sever gets closer to the front. The competition gets stiffer, and he's not yet able to pull away from Koffler in the 1. Last year's leading feature winner now in 3rd spot out of turn 4. Five laps to go. Lead battle is also getting closer together, but Sever will have too much distance to challenge for a 2nd straight win in the Fall Festival unless there's a caution flag. Dukavich in the 04 now looking to the inside of Settle. 2 Farmington dirt track graduates on lap 21 of 25 with lap cars in front of them. Will it be 3 wide on the backstretch? Look at Settle closing in on Ben Stahl. And manages to keep about a 2 car length interval between himself and Dukavich, which quickly evaporates on the front straight. 3 laps to go. Dukavich is nearly bumper to bumper with Settle. 2 drivers who are nearly neighbors in the Leisenring area. 2 drivers who race together on dirt. 2 drivers who are friends off the racetrack, door to door for the lead. If their battle rages on, Matt Sever may have a chance at closing in on them. 2 laps to go. Sever still right. Oh, he dropped 2 wheels off the track onto the apron, and that will cost him several car lengths. Matt Sever in the 83 keeps on coming. The West Newton teenager may have a shot at 2nd spot with the white flag signaling the final lap of 2010 at Motordrome. Andrew Dukavich, now the race leader. Steve Settle in 2nd, Matt Sever in 3rd. And coming out of turn 4, another checkered flag. Look at Sever challenging and taking 2nd, but it is Andrew Dukavich with another victory over Matt Sever, Steve Settle, Paul Koffler Jr., and the 48 of Paul Koffler III. And that will conclude the 2010 racing season at the Motordrome Speedway. First of all, I heard a rumor that you're not any longer a local boy to the Motordrome Speedway here just down the road on 51. Is that true?
Yep, I live about 2 hours away now. Drive here every week, race, love it.
Yeah, actually, you're my neighbor now, so congratulations on that. Hey, you've got a big hat to put on here. You've raced on the dirt tracks. Let's tell us about some of your success before you got to Motordrome.
I did real good on dirt, too. V6, 4-cylinder super stock just come up through. You know, I took a championship at Farmington. Come down here, won an Enduro, and won a couple races here on Friday nights. A lot of heat race wins.
Do you expect to be traveling all the way from Newcastle, Pennsylvania to race with us in 2011?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I'm hooked.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Several feature wins on the season, including the opportunity to wear the Piney Lasky cowboy hat in victory lane to conclude the 2010 season at Motordrome Speedway, Andrew Dukavich.